Hey you all, it's Jenny here, and I screwed up, and I have this half-hour time slot that I didn't open at either one of my companies, so I didn't get booked. Not because anything's going on in China today, although something is going on this week. A lot of teachers are saying their bookings are really low. Mine are completely booked, um, but we'll see if somebody happens to cancel. At any rate, not really talking too much about numbers. I was happy, even though I'm not doing really great right now, and I'm not on HCG, and I'm letting everything reset for about a week. Dealing with Tom, it's been 8 days. Really stinks to hit that 50 mark in age because, like, everything goes haywire. So, it's going to be a little bit before I get back on Tom. Plus, I want to like just give my body that day to kind of reset, make sure I don't have to go back and give any more blood work. I don't think I do. I think I would have contacted me by now if I needed to. So I think everything is on track. And the last time I talked to you, I'm actually down 2 pounds, but I mean, those were, I believe, inflated numbers anyway. So um, that's neither here nor there. We're not going to really discuss that. Um, and there was the video that I deleted. I talked a lot about kind of like I sort of had an aha moment in general dieting that wasn't really HCG specific. And I was going to do some more kind of like probatory research, personal data collecting on it. But then everything went awry for myself. So I decided that I'll hold off on talking about that. And because I didn't really go into depth because I had to delete that whole video anyway, you don't even know what I'm talking about. I guess I didn't even need to bring that up. It just came to my mind today. All right, so thank you very much to. I forgot your name. You changed it on YouTube. Anyway, somebody told me that the protocol that I have is not the same as the protocol that they have. Not that the content isn't the same, but all those typos and um, grammar errors and that is not showing up in their protocol. So it sounds like I not only had some translation issues with whoever translated it, but there were also simply typos and misspellings. So I just pulled up another one. I haven't read it yet because I didn't realize that I didn't open this time slot for either class, and I thought this is a perfect time to just throw out a video, go on to the next area that we were talking about, and we were talking about different causes of obesity. We discussed that there's the inherited factor, there's issues with the hypothalamus, and there's the exhaustion of the fat bank. All right, so we talked about the exhaustion, two parts of the exhaustion of the fat bank. I'm going to go to the third one. I have not read this yet, um, but I am hoping that it just all makes sense. I do believe the rest of these paragraphs under this category made sense anyway when I first read them in the other protocol, but I'm going to give it a shot, and I just pulled up a different one hoping that this one, it looks, the whole structure of it and everything looks exactly the same as the one I was using. The only thing I don't like about this one is there's some advertisements in between some of the information as the people posted it, but whatever, I don't care. You don't see that, so it doesn't matter to you as long as the information is accurate. So here we go. So the third paragraph under exhaustion of the fat bank. It says, when a person suffers a long period of privation. Okay, I think that one, which is a state in which things that are essential to human well being, such as food and warmth, are scarce or lacking. I've never used the word privation before in my life ever. Privation. Did you know that? So when you restrict things from yourself, you're experiencing privation. hmm Okay, interesting. We've all learned a new word. No, well, I did. Maybe you knew it. Okay, when a person suffers a long period of privation, be it due to chronic illness, poverty, famine, or the exigencies of war. Oh, we are going to learn a lot of words here today, aren't we? delete the other word. Now I've got privation, an urgent need or demand. Okay. Or an urgent need or demand of war. That's an interesting way of putting it, but okay, let's continue. His diencephalic regulations, and remember, diencephalic area of the brain has three parts. One of them is a hypothalamus, and then that has to deal with dieting and your desire to eat and food and digestion and regulating your body. Okay. Um, his diencephalic regulations adjust themselves to some extent to the low food intake. When then suddenly these conditions change and he is free to eat all the food he wants, this is liable to overwhelm his fat regulating center. During the World War II, about 6,000 grossly underfed Polish refugees who had spent harrowing years in Russia were transformed to a camp in India, where they were well housed, given normal British Army rations, and some cash to buy a few extras. Within about 3 months, 85% were suffering from obesity. Okay, so I find this interesting. This is the argument for why do we not just restrict calories, since we are restricting calories to 500 calories. Why are we doing HCG along with it? Well, there's two things that come to play. Or one is the HCG really, I've noticed over time, after it gets in my system for a little bit, curbs my appetite. And it makes it so that I am not hungry and suffering for the entire time that I'm on the HCG diet and eating between 5 to 800 calories a day. And number two, the HCG, when it comes to burning energy and using up fuel in your body, it causes you to not go into a starvation mode, and it causes your body to go to the excess fat stores that you have in your body, which is the opposite of the starvation mode. The starvation mode, it's keeping those excess fat stores because it's thinking, oh no, like we're in war, or we're in a time where we're going to go a long time without food. Why are we not having food? And your body tends to hold on to the fat that it has, so that it has energy to spread out over a long period of time, so that you don't burn it like you normally do, and then boom, have nothing, and you have no food intake, and then you have no fat stores, thus resulting in death. I'm sorry, I touch my eyes a lot around here. This is terrible for HCG, COVID. Every now and then my cat comes by, and then little things go up in the air. So those are the two things that the HCG hormone does. So what I find interesting in this paragraph when I first read it was the concept that it's understandable that if you restrict yourself for a long period of time, that afterwards you would want to eat plenty when provided a lot of food. Psychologically, and just, to make yourself feel good, especially after going through something traumatic like that, and being starved during a horrible event of capture and all that, that all of a sudden you're in a safe place and you're given plenty of food, that would be a comfort to you. And there's the notion of, wow, look how skinny I've gotten. I need to put on weight anyway. So there's the eating of extra. But it does specifically say in here that when they went to a camp in India, they were housed and given normal British Army rations. So it's not even just like this host family just provided a normal meal. Because, like, what is normal, right? Sadly, my normal is not the same as many other people's normals. This is why I'm in the condition that I am, and I'm constantly on my weight loss journey. So they were given army rations. Well, that's very specific. The army rations are a certain specific amount of food. They were given that specific army rations after this period of time, and 85% of them became obese. Not just overweight, but obese. Isn't that interesting? That's really interesting. So it's an argument to definitely do HCG. And this kind of goes into the topic that I was going to talk about before, that I said I wasn't going to talk about, but I'll just say it now. I kind of ended up going off HCG knowing that this was going to come upon me, but then I noticed that I was eating the same as I was when I was on HCG. 4 or 5 days after being off HCG. And I wasn't like on it for 40 days or even, it wasn't an extended period of time. I think I was on it just 20 days. I don't even think I got to the full 21 days before, or 23 days, or 21. 21, 3 weeks. 3 times 7 is 21. Um, well, 23 if you count loading. Okay, anyway, I didn't get to the full amount of days. Um, so I don't feel like it was like I had an excess amount of it stored in me or anything like that. And I started thinking, what if we used HCG as a springboard just to get us to switch over to a ketogenic state to the point that your body's burning its own fat, um, that you're not craving sweets anymore, and you get over that hump, and then you can continue it on your own. Is it possible? And I was going to do a little experiment like that, and then I had to go to the doctor, and then everything happened, and then after that Tom happened, and so like now we're in a whole another state. And during that whole time, and then it also was um, even before that, even before the doctor's visit, a week before the doctor's visit, actually. Well, not a week before. About 4 or 5 days before the doctor's visit, I had my weekend away with my sister at a cottage where we scrapbooked all weekend long together and just ate Amish food. So there was that. I appreciate y'all for sticking with me on this channel. Feel free to share down below if you ever have any epic fails yourself. So I'm not the only one saying, I did really good, and then I didn't. I did really good, and look at my numbers, I'm doing great, and then I didn't. On the wagon, off the wagon, on the wagon, off the wagon. I do realize that I have a motivating factor coming up. In September, I am going for 5 days away with 2 girlfriends up to a resort in Upper Michigan, somewhere, some resort points or something that my one girlfriend had to use up. So the 3 of us are going to go up there and just relax and kick back and sit by the pool and watch movies and hang out as girlfriends. It's going to be a good time. One of them is the one that got me involved in HCG to begin with, so she would completely understand this whole thing. If I were to be on it, but then it would be difficult to be on it, but she would understand. Nevertheless, she's also the one that gave me the scone the other day, so I don't always completely come out, but then that just seemed rude. She had the plate all prepared to say, I'm on HCG again. There are times in life you have to just give in to what is the most socially appropriate and the most kind to somebody, especially when somebody takes the time to prepare and make something for you. You certainly don't say, no, I'm on HCG right now. You just suffer the consequences of what that scone is going to do to your body, and then you move on, because that consequence was I think worth the price of telling my friend how wonderful the scone was. And let me tell you, when you're on HCG for a few weeks and you have a chocolate chip almond scone, there's no faking the overwhelming praise that I gave and said, this tastes amazing. Indeed. All right, so she's one of the friends. The other friend is somebody who is a huge fitness guru and she's been into a bunch of different companies buying these different shakes and those different shakes and indirects, multi-marketing, multi-level, always trying to get me to be part of this group to sell all these special drinks and things and all that. And it's not really my thing, but she is also a huge runner and advocate for running. So okay, so we have a skinny mini amongst us as well. who's always trying to tell me, like, if you want to lose weight, you can just do this. Okay. It is like the third or fourth weight loss company she's been with, so take that with a grain of salt. How great each one's the best one there ever was. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to invest all the money in that. I need to eat less, right? I need to eat less. That's what I need to do. Um, so yeah, I just realized I don't have my camera up. I do not even know if this is recording. Let me look. Oh, I think it is. Okay, yeah, it is. Good. And I just realized I never turned on this light over here today, but it looks okay. I guess I'm a little bit more shadowed over here. Um, Sorry about that. I'm distracted. I wasn't planning on doing this video today. So, at any rate, because I'm going to be going with both of those women, um, I am, I have, especially because of the Skinny Mini, a huge motivation to get my body back into shape. I would love to be down 20 pounds by the end of September. That seems like a lot of weight because we are just at the end of June right now. So that's a significant loss, but I feel like if I set that as my goal and I fall 5 pounds shy, I'll feel really good about where my body is at that given time and feel good in my clothes and feel okay putting a bathing suit on. So, the motivation is starting to come back. It's still hard in June to say that the end of September is my goal and I'm going to be really good from now until then, but I hope that I can use this as a way to motivate myself again and get back on the bandwagon and, you know, start back on HCG one of these days when I don't have to deal with Tom anymore. So, um, no matter what journey I'm on, I'm going to continue on this protocol for you. And feel free if you also found another form of, you know what, I did HCG and it was successful. I found myself falling off the wagon, did it a couple times. It's always worked. But I also found A, B, and C to work for me. Feel free to share those down below because I will go ahead and share those as well. In fact, during this time, and because I can't be on HCG right now, I even thought about signing up to do that Noom. Why not? I've always said my biggest problem is not knowing what to do, it's doing it and the motivation to do it. So I always need carrots. I've always admitted I'm a person who works for carrots, knowing that I have to get into a bathing suit at the end of September is a carrot. It's hard that it's so far away, but it is a carrot for me to work towards. But my understanding is Zoom is somebody who is communicating with you, and maybe that's just what I need, is knowing that I'm going to be putting in what I ate into an app and somebody's going to be looking at it and trying to keep me accountable. I don't know. I think that's how it works. I'm not really sure. So I thought I would try that out also while I continue to give you more information on this protocol for those of you who are just doing HCG right now. I'll continue to give all the information from Dr. Simeon's on that, but then I might have some side videos talking about what is new and does it work? All right. We'll see. I don't know. I've been thinking about that. Yesterday I was thinking about it and I thought, well, this completely goes against HCG and what I've been doing on the channel, but that's okay, right? In general, I didn't say that this was just an HCG channel. I said it was weight loss, and really, in the end, we just want to lose weight, right? Whatever it takes to get there. Um, and some people have stubborn metabolisms, and other people have environmental factors, and some people are their own worst enemies and don't do well with personal accountability. Justify every time that they put something good in their mouth and think, I had a rough day. I need to celebrate. I accomplished this task. Oh, the number of things. Oh, this is normally never in my house. I better eat it. I need to eat it to get it away so that I can start on my journey. I mean, I've used them all. Okay, this went much longer than I expected. We have one more section under Exhaustion at the Fat Bank. I will go over the next time that I see you. And that's all I have for today. So hang in there, stay with it. I hope this information was helpful to you. It is motivation to not just severely restrict. I mean, restricting calories obviously is going to work, but we're talking severely restrict, like 5 to 800 calories a day. In doing that, this part of the protocol explains basically why we're using HCG and we're not just saying eat 500 calories a day. That's not good for you. All right, you take care. I'll talk to you soon.